Hi, I'm George Jones. You know, we got a good show for you tonight, and I can't wait to watch it myself. It just don't get any better than this. That's about as good ever gets. If there's something better, it's something I miss. It just don't get any better than this.
Ladies and gentlemen, George Jones.
Tell me why, baby, why, baby, why, baby, why you make me cry, baby, cry, baby, cry, baby, cry. Lord, I can't help but love you till the day that I die. So tell me why, baby, why, baby, why, baby, why? Well, I got a crow I wanna pick with you, like last time when the feathers flew. You're running wild, kicking up your heels, leaving me home with a handful of bills. Lord, I can't live without you, and you know it's true. There ain't no living with it, so what'll I do? I'm going honky-tonk and get as tight as I can. Then maybe then you appreciate a good man. Tell me why, baby, why, baby, why, baby, why you make me cry, baby, cry, baby, cry, baby, cry. Well, I can't help but love you till the day that I die. So tell me why, baby, why, baby, why, baby, why? Yeah. Well, now I don't know, but I've heard it say every little doggy's gonna have his day. You better pay attention, don't you dare forget, 'cause I'm just a little bitty puppy, yeah. Well, I caught you honky-tonkin' with my best friend. The thing to do was leave you, but I should've left then. Now I'm too old to leave you, but I still get sore when you come home a feeling further knob on the door. So tell me why, baby, why, baby, why, baby, why you make me cry, baby, cry, baby, cry, baby, cry. Yeah. I can't help but love you till the day that I die. So tell me why, baby, why, baby, why, baby, why? You tell me why, baby, why, baby, why, baby, why? It just don't get any better than this.
It's the George Jones Show with George's guests, Waylon Jennings, Bobby Bare, and Janie Fricke. And George will be back too.
I'll tell you what.
When friends get together, it's great to be there.
I'm back with my old friends, and we're going to have a good one today. Waylon Jennings. I just got through hearing a song that we're going to get him to sing. Bobby Bare and Janie Fricke. Bless your heart. Good to have you, Janie.
Great being
Good
here.
to have all y'all with me. I'll tell you what, we are going to have a ball today.
Good to be here, George.
Yeah.
I guess the best, Janie, probably the easiest thing to do. Instead of starting with the lady first, we'll start with
He's
one
got
of
to
these
sing
funny.
that song. I just heard him telling about
Yeah,
it. Where did that come
Well,
from?
this is a song. Now, we have a new album. Me, Waylon, Mel Tillis, and Jerry Reed.
That's great.
Calling ourselves the Old Dogs. And
Old Dogs, yeah.
We've recorded a double CD, double album of all songs written by Shel Silverstein. They're all songs about the realities of getting older.
Yeah.
Which I know nothing about, and he wants to make it sound like we're all old. You know?
Well, and that's the part I can't understand why they want to do that.
Well, but we can blow his home up. Stop a whole lot of that stuff.
He's got my address.
That's right.
And I will send the boys over.
Well, you notice I said older, not old.
I tell you what, let's get something started here, though. And on this old dog thing, Bobby Bears did one called "You'd Rather Be."
She'd rather be homeless.
She'd rather be homeless
than here at home with
than
me.
here at home.
Sing a little bit of that.
I've had, you know, I've had
great.
wives like that.
Well,
that really
yeah.
hurts my feelings. Saying, Bear.
Well, except my wife's, I was the homeless.
George knows all about that. It was our 25th anniversary, and I was watching the Super Bowl when suddenly she started cursing me till I almost dropped my remote control. Then she said, "That's that," and grabbed her hat and headed out into the snow. That was almost 2 long years ago. Now see her shuffling down the street, combat boots on her dainty feet, pushing her belongings in a cart from the A&P. See her bumming cigarettes on the sidewalk where she sits. Oh, she'd rather be homeless than here at home with me. She'd rather be sleeping in some doorway.
Now that's sad, you know. That's sad.
Than lolling in the lap of luxury. And when that cold wind starts to blow, Lord, it hurts me so to know she'd rather be homeless than here at home with me.
Try to put some pretty harmony with that. It's pretty good.
Folks, that's on the old dogs.
Oh.
Boy, y'all got two
Double CD.
yeah.
We're selling ours on TV. We have an infomercial.
That's a good way to
Well,
do
that's
it,
what-
too.
that's what we're gonna do.
Just dial
Have a
1-877 old dogs.
Oh,
and you
great.
get it.
Well, that's
Whose
good.
idea was that, Bear?
That was yours, Waylon.
Yeah.
You know, Waylon, why don't we talk a little bit about our old days just a little bit, you know? I mean, they were fun days to us. And
George, I'm
we're
gonna tell
glad they're over with, but we had some fun things.
Let me tell you,
some fun things happened, so I'll let you tell what happened.
We were
one night.
very, very normal neighbors and very normal people. George came to see me one time, and he really wasn't sure who I was, I don't think. He came in about 4 sheets of the wind, and I'd been up for about 4 or 5 days. So it was a blind leading a blind. And all of a sudden, George gets a little wild, and he starts throwing things. So I had to get on him and sit on him. Now, here I am, one of my heroes of my life, and I'm having to sit down on him and hold him down, or he's going to tear me and my house up. Now, I'm holding him like this, you know, and George, settle down. That's while George goes, it's like he's choking. But this is Possum. That's why they call him Possum right here.
Yeah.
As I turned loose of him, I said, "George, you all right?" And he goes, bam, and hits me right in the face. And I said, "Somebody get something." I said, "Whatever he's doing is stronger than mine." And I'm running out of strength. And so, I mean, he was just still going, you know. So I said, "Go get something I can tie him up." So I got something and tied him up.
Belt.
And I felt terrible.
One of them long belts.
I did, yeah.
You
Wrapped
must,
it
you
around
must have
there.
been size 50 in the waist at one time.
That wasn't my belt. Anyway, that old Grop, you broke his thumb, you kicked him, you know. I mean, this was a wild man.
Whoa.
And so I get him on there, and I gently
Lord.
lay him over on the couch, you know. And I can't really tell you what he said to me then.
No, I bet you can't repeat it.
No, and anyway.
I said I loved him. I loved him.
Sure you did. And so we called his manager, and after a while, let me tell you, after a while, I mean, he's calling me everything in the world, and you know, and his manager gets there and unties him. He gets up and dusts himself off like this and said, Well, I'll see y'all. No, he went in there and said, Jesse, would you sing me that song again? And they left. I mean, he can go from oblivion to a preacher's son in about 2 seconds. I don't know what to do.
Oh, Lord.
About the best you ever heard. I got me a song and I wrote it myself, but you can't believe a word. Well, I can't even believe I wrote it. I beat the DEA and the AMA and the CMA to boot. I backed them up, then I held them up with a gun that wouldn't shoot. Didn't even have no bullets. Back home where I come from, that would have impressed everyone. Beats anything they've seen under the sun. Back home where I come from. I got a divorce, and you'll never guess what I did. I got alimony and child support, and I ain't even got no kids. Ain't bad for the kids. But I do know the law, and he's got a friend who's a friend of a friend of mine. There ain't no string that he can't pull to get me in and out of a bind. Oh, Jesse, even push a string. Back home where I come from, that would have impressed everyone. Beats anything they've seen under the sun. Back home where I come from. Well, I'm a little bit Bubba and a redneck mother, like a typical prodigal son. Back home where I come from, that would have impressed everyone. Beats anything they've seen under the sun. Back home where I come from.
Some boy came up to me the other day at a NASCAR race, and he said, Bobby, he says, you know, I don't listen to country music on the radio no more because it seems to me like they're playing country music for people that don't like country music.
That made a lot of sense.
Oh, I tell you, I think the greatest thing I've ever heard in Nashville is an image consultant.
Oh.
Can you imagine any
What's
one
an
of
image
us taken into a room and left in there with an image consultant?
Image.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've blown every image I ever had, man.
Well, George doesn't know what you're talking about.
No, I have an idea. I know they straighten your teeth up and
They tell you what kind of hat to wear
Yeah.
and how tight your Levi's should be.
yeah.
But for a creative business, you're right, it is pretty complicated.
It
and
is.
people come up to me all the time and say, what advice would you give to my little girl who wants to grow up and be a singer? You know, what could you tell her to do? And in a nutshell, you know, you just have to say this is a business. You have to
Treat it
look
like
at
a
it like a business. You have to know that you're good and that you can sing. And you have to have reaction from your family and friends and your peers that you do have a talent. And then you can take that talent and create it, but have a good head on your shoulders and
Tell you what I tell them.
treat
I
it
say,
like it's a business.
I tell them, I say, first of all, you need a good accountant, you need a good lawyer, and you need a good manager. And make sure they don't know each other.
That's a
And
good
then,
one.
I mean, you go from I tell you, it's like a creative control and artistic freedom. That's kind of like, I've never understood why you have to fight to get that, because that should be a given thing. It's just like women's rights. That should be a given thing.
Right.
Without all of this other stuff with it.
Bobby, I want to show a little little clip on you way back there.
Oh no, George, no.
When you,
Oh,
I think it's when you first got out of the service, and Waylon, I understand that you might have recorded this first.
Yeah, I think I got it from Ian Tyson and then Bear
That's who wrote that.
heard my record of it.
Oh, you must be
Right.
talking about Four Strong Winds.
Four strong winds.
Yeah, I learned this from a
But-
Waylon record.
But I never knew you wore suits. You know. Oh.
Yeah, we all
Man,
wore
you so tidy back then.
tight-legged
Shaved.
His little bolo tie.
And actually had the guitar that belonged to him.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No, that was somebody else's guitar there.
He shows up at shows and says, "Anybody got a guitar?"
I look just like my son, Bobby Jr.
No, Bobby
Well,
Jr. better looking than that.
I was cute. I really was. And I should have gotten a whole lot more girls than I did.
Real ladies, man. I know it.
Never back this away. I may go out to Alberta, weather's good there in the fall. Got some friends that I could go to working for. Still, I wish you'd change your mind.
Bobby keeps time blinking.
Yeah.
Look at his eyelashes. Now watch it. He's keeping time with his. See, he's in time with his eyes. Look at that face. That looks like a baby's rear end. You know, just as smooth.
Whatever happened to that cute little dimple in my chin?
You still have it, Bobby. You still have it. That's great.
Oh, that brings back a lot of memories. I'll tell you.
Sure does.
Oh boy, Bobby, what happened there? Where did you go? Where did you go wrong? You was so neat and dressed up, you know, in suit and.
I finally just gave up on it.
The record label told him to dress like this,
Yeah,
jeans
mine.
and denim.
Oh, well, that's what they would tell you today.
My
Just
advisor told me
Absolutely.
the
His
suit's got to go.
image consultant.
the image.
Image
Oh, that's what
consultant.
you was talking about a while ago.
Oh yeah, and the
Yeah.
consultant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
See,
tell him. I
actually-
see him. Can you imagine they say, Willie? Yeah, we've got to talk to you about your headband. You know, I can hear that now.
Well, see, I was,
Well, okay, let's tell Willie right now he cannot wear his headband anymore.
Listen,
it,
speaking
right?
of headbands,
Yeah.
I started out wearing headbands, and the
know
president of
you
the
did.
label told me to put them away in a drawer. Thank you, everybody.
Words are cheap, and I love yous are free. So unless you mean it, well, don't spend them on me. Don't think twice if you're keeping score, 'cause heartaches are high priced, and I paid them before.
Well, I tell you what,
That's right.
you've got a song you did a long time ago. Well, I don't know. Hadn't been that long, I don't guess. But
I'm
it's
not
been
that
a while.
old, George. I'm a young guy.
I know that. We're both young. I just wish you'd do me a verse or so of it. I always did love it.
A couple more years?
I got a couple of years on you, honey, that's all, or something like that. And don't start tuning.
I just untuned it.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know if I can even find the key to it.
That's about it.
I've got a couple more years on you, babe, and that's all.
That's all.
I've had more chances to fly and more places to fall. It's not that I'm wiser, it's just that I've spent more time with my back to the wall. And I picked up a couple more years on your day.
That's all. I like that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that.
Keep going.
That's a good song. Shel Silverstein wrote that thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
wrote
good
everything.
writer, I'll tell you
Oh,
that.
he is.
We got one more little clip here I'd like to show.
Oh, Lord, here it
I
comes.
got to see this.
I got to show this to
This
them.
is when I was cute.
Son, this is the good one.
Uh-oh. It may be one of
And
them.
You may
before I
not
do it,
know
so-
about this,
before I
Cat
do it, I forgot to ask you how my girlfriend's doing.
Jesse's doing great, you know.
Right.
You know, she's
That's my lady. I'll tell you.
she's something else,
She's a
okay.
sweetheart. This clip we're fixing to show when you were so young and handsome and all that, you know. And what does she think about the difference?
She's learned to
George, he's
accept me in
still-
all different kinds of ways. Because
He's still handsome.
He is. I
He's
know it, but
matured, handsome guy now.
But I got to wear him down a little bit. So.
I know.
see, I'm what you call a 61-year-old sex symbol to her,
Well, I
and
know
I
what
ain't
you-
gonna let nobody change it.
There
Well,
you go.
I'll tell you what. You're looking good today, and
That's
you're
right.
singing better than ever, and Bobby is too. But you look, I think, a little better here, though. Well,
All
anyhow.
right, let's see this thing. Oh
Of
Lord.
course, to welcome back to the Grand Ole Opry Waylon Jennings. Waylon, I remember that when you were here before, your picture was opening in Nashville at that time.
Yes, sir.
Boy, he's a good-looking devil, wasn't he?
Look at him.
Look at him. We ought to can him and sell him.
Yeah. Waylon's going to do a song that you may recall from his first picture, The Nashville Rebel. What's the name of this, Waylon?
It's called Silver Ribbon.
Here's Waylon Jennings.
Traveling down this lonesome railroad, silver ribbon with no end. Million miles of cross ties, mark a million miles I've been. I picked peaches down in Georgia, apples up in Maine, old cotton out in Texas.
Look at that hair. I swear that hair was a foot long. You just kind of roll it around on your head.
Just kind of grease it back a little bit.
That was it. You know.
That was Waylon when I first
You know what?
met him.
When you okay, you put that, you comb your hair in the morning, you put that grease on it.
Is that-
About 10 o'clock, right along about middle of your forehead, that stuff starts rolling down. You know? And in a minute, it's in your eyes.
Was that Brill cream stuff?
That Brill
Brill
cream.
cream.
Brill green.
Rose hair oil when I was a kid. The rose
That did
hair
get a
oil.
little greasy, didn't it, after
Oh,
it dried,
Lord.
especially.
And then sand would blow in West Texas.
I remember when I first started off, my hair was just so fine and straight. It just laid on your head like you come out of the shower and it's wet. And I'd put that fitch on there. But that solved it all. I didn't have to worry about nothing.
But there was something about your hair. Let me tell you, George. I never figured this out. You'd have that burr haircut, and you look just as normal as anybody. But you get about half drunk, and it would move down, and that's where the word possum come from, because you did look like a possum.
Well, it kind of showed my big ears too. You know, I didn't have no hair covering them big ears, flat head, you know. And back when I was younger, I think my nose kind of turned up a little more or something. It's more, everything's more settled, you know.
I know what you're talking about.
Coming up next, a very special segment with Janie Fricke and George's Gallery of Pictures.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks? Oh, yeah? Meet Waylon Jennings, Jerry Reed, Mel Tillis, and Bobby Bear together for the first time performing new songs by Shel Silverstein. Atlantic Records presents The Old Dogs.
Can't do it like I done it before. I doesn't do it no more. I ain't too old to cut the mustard, just too tired to spread it around.
These songs are guaranteed to bring the house down. If you're into good times and great songs, The Old Dogs deliver plenty of both on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes.
All these guys are just full of energy. It's just great. I love it. It's fun.
Rather be homeless than here at home with me.
You'll be whooping and hollering at this foot-stomping Old Dogs collection.
Oh man, trying to do a young man's job. Nashville is rough on the
This set is not sold in stores.
but she really speaks well of the dead. You still
Get Old Dogs on 2 CDs for $24.95 or 2 cassettes for $19.95. Remember, this 2-volume set is not sold in stores, so don't wait another minute and order now. To order The Old Dogs, use your credit card and call the number on your screen or send check or money order for $19.95 for 2 cassettes or $24.95 for 2 CDs plus shipping and handling. Rush delivery available. Remember, this special collection is not sold in stores. Order now.
Look at all these pictures on the wall. Gosh, imagine all the stories to be told behind these pictures. So many great singers. Singers like Hank Lachlan, who recorded this next song that I'm about to sing. He recorded it way back in 1960. And then I recorded my version in 1978. Please help me, I'm falling in love with you. Close the door to temptation. Don't let me walk through. Turn away from me, darling. I'm begging you to. Please help me, I'm falling in love with you. I belong to another whose arms have grown cold, but I promised forever to have and to hold, so I can never be free, dear. But when I'm with you, I know that I'm losing the strength to be true. Please help me, I'm falling, and that would be sin. Close the door to temptation. Don't let me walk in, for I mustn't want you, but darling, I do. Please help me, I'm falling in love with you. Please help me, I'm falling in love with you.
You know?
Hey, what about the old folks? You know, we got a little too old to handle all that. And
Oh, Lord.
He's doing one on there called Nashville is rough on the living, but she really speaks well of the dead.
Guess what? I was in the hospital, and you know what? I wasn't doing too good along about then. Right. I know Bear, he got them all together and said, let's let Waylon have this song because he might die. And if he dies, it's a surefire hit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, to just stick with the commercial all the way.
That'd be like it, man.
Dog eat dog.
You know, well, Bobby got one more clip that I've got to show on you, and I believe it's you and Roger Miller and some of them. Tell me something about it because I don't know all about it.
Well, it's a clip when TNN first started. I had a show on the Nashville Network called Bobby Bear and Friends, and I had everybody on it. One of the shows I did with Roger Miller, and Roger was right in the middle of writing this Broadway musical. And the first time he ever performed these songs was on my show before the play ever opened. And one of the songs that Roger did, of course, we've all been friends with Roger since the late 50s, early 60s. And you probably go back farther than that.
A couple of years, anyhow.
Yeah, Roger was one of the funniest, most clever people I've ever come
met.
across.
Yeah.
And,
sure was.
But this clip is from the TV show.
All right. Let's see it.
Roger, you're probably best known for, of course, Chug-a-Lug, King of the Road. There's a zillion hits, and you got a gang of awards and things we'll talk about later. But let's go back to the very beginning and find out how you really got started.
How I really got started? Well, yeah. Let's see. I got out of the Army and came up here with a pregnant wife and mustering out pay and rented a house in East Nashville and auditioned for Chet. I was so nervous. I played in one key and sang in another, and it was dreadful. Chet still remembers it. And I just kind of knocked around. I ran into George Jones a few days after I'd been here and hung with him for a year or so. Played guitar with him and wrote songs. He recorded about 9 or 10 of my songs. Tall, Tall Trees and Hearts in My Dreams and I don't know, a bunch of little-known songs. And later on I went to work with Ray Price, singing the duets, playing drums with Farron. I've done everything here, I think. I did everything but leave town.
He was funny. Now that's just little things like that's what was funny about it.
I thought he was going to do, when I said, Roger, how did you get started? He said, well, I just went, away I went.
You know where he was when we was trying to, for a week now, we've been trying to get a hold of him to do this show.
Oh, really?
Out with Tater and, and a bunch of them fishing.
Let me tell you something. I got him, though. I got him and Johnny Cash and 2 or 3 more of them. Hank Jr. I got at home, I've got these 2 fish, not very big, these trout, mounted. But they're the only 2 fish I ever caught in my life. I've been fishing with him all night long, and he didn't catch no fish, and I didn't either. Me and Cash, we were on the lake for 18 hours. No fish. Nobody. Harlan Howard even took me fishing. He won't even talk to me about it. Tony Joe White thinks I'm a jinx. So I kind of caught 2 fish, and I had them mounted. And they said, what'd you have 2 little old fish like that mounted for? And I said, caught them both with 1 hook and 1 bait. They said, at the same time. I said, one struck that thing, and just about that time, this other one struck it. And they said, oh, they didn't either. I said, yes, I did. And they said, man, I had never heard of that. I said, that's good. You got them both with 1 bait. Now, I did it to them because they think that I hadn't been fishing long enough to learn how to lie like that.
Well,
that's what it was.
Lie like that. Oh, Lord.
You know how hyper Jerry Reed is. Get him in a boat, he settles right down.
Does he really?
Bear, everybody stays real still with Bear in the boat. My wife, my ex-wife, and me were in the boat with him. And we were fishing, and all of a sudden, my ex-wife used to have real long blonde hair, all the way down to, anyway, and she had these little wiglet things that she'd wear every once in a while, because her hair was kind of like the Breck girl, it was real thin. Anyway, Bear we're in there, all three of us in the boat, and she loved to fish, and she's fishing. All of a sudden, I hear this blood-curdling scream. And I look at her, and she's got her hands over her head like this, and Bear's looking back and reeling in, and there comes that wiglet out there, and it's got a water dog on it. And Bear done hooked that wiglet out of her hair and into the water.
Actually, she had her hair pinned down, a wiglet on that, and a wool turban over top of the wiglet.
Yeah, you had that on there too, didn't you?
So I had both of them. I had the wool turban and the wiglet. Really.
You know what his comment was? Well, it's good you wasn't in here with me last week because I got a guy in the earlobe.
Still the earlobe.
Yeah, he's dangerous.
Yeah, I did. Down in Louisiana where the black trees grow, lived a voodoo lady named Marie Laveau. Got a black cat tooth and a mojo bone. Anyone who wouldn't leave her alone, she go, wow. Another man done gone. She lived in a swamp in a hollow log with a one-eyed snake and a three-legged dog. Bent, bony body and strange hair. If she ever seen y'all messing around there, she'd go, wow. Another man done gone. Then one night when the moon was black, into the swamp came Handsome Jack. No good man like you all know, looking around for Marie Laveau. He said, Marie Laveau, why you lovely witch, give me a little charm that'll make me rich. Give me $1 million, I'll tell you what I'll do. This very night I gonna marry you, and there'll be, whoa, baby, another man done gone. So Marie done some magic, sure little sand, made $1 million and she put it in his hand. Giggled and she wiggled and she said, hey, hey, I'm getting ready for my wedding day. But old Handsome Jack said, goodbye, Marie. You're too damn ugly for a rich man like me. Marie started mumbling, her fangs started gnashing, her body started trembling, and her eyes started flashing. She went, rah! Another man done gone. So if you ever get down where the black trees grow and meet a voodoo lady named Marie Laveau, if she ever asks you to make her your wife, man, you better stay with her for the rest of your life, or every wow, another man done gone. Whoa, Marie.
You know, a little earlier today, we were all talking about our buddy Roger Miller. Here's my favorite Roger Miller song. If you think it's lonesome where you are tonight, then you ought to be here with me. If you think, oh, this heart aches where you are tonight, then you ought to be here with me. Because with you I'm whole. Without you I'm cold. So if you think about me
loneliness is calling where you are tonight, then you ought to be here with me. Because with you I'm whole. Without you I'm cold. So if you think about me where you are tonight, then you ought to be here with me. You know, if nobody loves you, darling, and it's lonely where you are tonight, honey, don't you know you ought to be here with me? And here's thinking of you, wherever you are tonight. But you ought to be here with me. Because with you without you I'm cold. So if you think about me where you are tonight, then you ought to be here with me. Thank you so much. We had a big time tonight. We hope you folks enjoyed our show tonight, too. And I know I did. Boy, I tell you, these are my favorite. I'm always going to have a great time whenever my old buddies like this drop by. So help me thank them right now, if you will. Ladies and gentlemen, Waylon Jennings. And Bobby Bear. Oh, yeah. And one of the all-time prettiest voices in country music, and faces too, Miss Janie Fricke. Come back. Come back and see us next time, okay? And remember, it just don't get any better than this.